This is by Inman.com. This is free market scores an early victory over PLNs. Brown Harris Stevens, CEO, Bess Friedman, looks at Zillow's early win in its fight with Compass and its implications for the future of PLNs. Let me give a little backstage here. Compass is the main opponent against Zillow in regards to the free market versus private listing networks. Compass has the position that you to be able to help your consumer in the way the consumer wants to be helped, they should have the right to private listings. They should have the right to keep their home from being mass marketed everywhere. All right. And they are pushing for that the consumer that does not want their house, maybe for privacy concerns or whatever it may be, they don't want their house pushed out. Those consumers should not be penalized by not sending it all out. Zillow's position is you should always send it out. You're hurting all consumers by doing this, and we don't want you doing that. We want that data. Okay. Now, what we have to pay attention to this is neither side of the aisle is altruistic. Both have a win where this lands, right? One can benefit one way, one can benefit the other. So it's not like both parties are just out for the consumer the most. There is a business here that's being ran. Zillow's running a business, Compass is running a business. But in the nuances of what this is, both sides have an argument. So I'm all fine with letting the courts and everybody else fight this out, waiting for regulation to pass on how and what we can do, paying attention, voicing our opinions when it's necessary, absolutely, and providing advice. I love civil discourse. I think that's what makes our country just so great is when we can come together and talk through issues like this without being emotional about it, talk and get down to the facts. I think that's healthy. So on this topic, though, regardless where it lands, I'm going to help my agents navigate it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. It says private listings networks just suffered a major setback, at least for now, which is good news for buyers and sellers over the country, all over the country. Again, this is opinion piece. So this person's on the side of that this is a good win. Others will be on the other side and say, is this really a good win? Right? It says Friday's federal court ruling denying the preliminary injunction to block Zillow's listing access standards just reinforced what I believe is the ethos of our entire industry. Transparency and broad market exposure serve consumers, agents, and markets alike. Again, you can unpack this. This is her opinion. This is her side. This is what she believes. Now, there's a whole other argument that says, well, yeah, but what about the consumer that doesn't want their house marketed everywhere? And maybe they're a high profile client, like a celebrity or something that doesn't want their house all over the internet. Maybe they are have an issue. They're going through a family situation where it's not safe for them to market their property. These are all the arguments on the other side. All right. The court's decision makes clear that there was a lack of evidence proving that Zillow's policy harms competition or unlawfully excludes rivals. In particular, the ruling notes that sellers and brokerages remain free to use alternative marketing strategies, even if those listings forego exposure on Zillow. So this kind of came out like not too long, a few months ago, where basically when this was happening, we were holding properties off the market. Zillow came out with a statement saying, if you do that, that property can never be on our site marketed. If you hold that privately, we're going to penalize you and not let you market your home on our site at all, right? If that's what you choose to do. So there's a little bit of a pushback there, and I need to get in the weeds a little bit more about where this has landed, but I don't like that. I think there's an element. And this is where my opinion is going to come in. I'm sorry I got inserted. Is I still think that there needs to be the choice for the consumer. There needs to be a scenario where the consumer is not penalized because they needed privacy, but yet they still need to move a property. There are scenarios. There are legitimate scenarios where that is the case, right? So I think there's an element here where we got to be a little careful. As I've said all along, it's up to the agents to now educate their sellers about what it means to enter into a private listing network. What are the trade-offs? What is gained and what is lost? These are important themes that agents as fiduciaries should be explaining in great detail to their clients, and this court ruling has now all but ensured these fundamental discussions must take place.